Okay, so like sort of update time. Basically, I've been doing like a lot of work. I just farted. Chill, fine, totally good. Okay, anyways, it's like 11:44, so like almost midnight, and like I'm being who I usually am. So hold on, I'm gonna try something, dude. I just found my perfect chair ever. Right. I want my glasses on. Hold on. I'm blind as fuck and I'm too far away to see, so. Yeah. Anywho. Hi. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So like I'm doing a lot of like planning, for like the future and stuff, and like set up a lot of stuff, and like have started like stabilizing my like life, because I feel like mentally like I'm I've learned a lot of like coping skills from the hospital, and like I'm very like a lot more stable than like I was before the hospital. So like I'm really happy about that, and I feel like secure mentally. But like that's only the first step to recovery. Like I need to like make the outside like world, or like my environment around me, safe and secure as well, and comfortable for me. And so I've been doing a lot of rearranging and being more assertive and standing up for myself, and doing letting go of like a lot of guilt and like irrational fears and stuff, so that I can be who I really am, and like let go and like be myself, and like be free, I guess, to be cheesy about it. um so yeah, like I've been doing a lot of stuff basically. And yesterday I went with my dad to like, and we went shopping. Um, which I know, me shopping, who would have thought? Like I don't like shopping at all. But actually, this shopping was actually needed, because like I do, for like all of my life, like I've always like held back, and like not asked for stuff that I've like really wanted, um, because like I felt like, because I didn't need it, like it wasn't something that was important enough for me to ask for, um, and like I just didn't think that I was like worth it, because I have really low self-esteem. So I just held back on like asking for a lot of things, like even clothes, or like supplies, or like things that like would make my life a lot more convenient, or a lot more healthy mentally. I wouldn't ask for it, because I knew that I physically didn't need it. So like I thought that that meant that I didn't need it at all, and I could just wait till I started living on my own and made my own income, where I could spend it without any guilt, and be okay with spending something for myself. Um, but like I don't wanna. If my mom's passing like taught me anything, it's that like I don't want to hold back anymore. Like you never know how much time you have, either with yourself, the people you love, or the situations that you're in, like, or time in general. Like you can't predict how much time you have, or how much time you waste by holding back. So I don't do that anymore. So um like I kind of just, the hospital like taught me a lot of coping skills, but it also like opened my eyes to being like, you need to like get over yourself. Like stop holding back, just like be who you are, like, you know, like just let it go. Like because a lot of those like guilt tripping things, and like low self-esteem shit, and like fears are like completely irrational, and like purely from trauma and growing up as like a poor ass kid, and like just being anxious, you know. And like I'm bigger than that. Like I'm bigger than my fears, I'm bigger than my anxieties, and bigger than my past. So like just let it go. Like move forward, because like, I can't move forward and be true to myself if I just keep holding back and waiting for the right time to let loose. Like, there is no right time. There is here and now. And if you're aware of something that needs to happen, why not let it happen now? Why do you have to wait for the future? Like, you know what I mean? I mean, it's different if, like, you're planning for the future. So, like, I make a lot of lists and I make a lot of plans where I prep for the future. Um, so, like, college, careers, like, what I want to do with my life in the future, that's different than, like, knowing something that you could change in your life now that would make you happier and not doing it because it's scary or because, like, you feel like you can't do it. Well, you can't know that you can't do something if you don't do it or you don't at least try to do it. So, why not just do it or try to do it? And then you'll officially know. And even if you do try to do it and it fails, try again. Like, there are no mistakes. There's just learning. Like, I mean, actually, that's not true. There are plenty of mistakes. Like, people make mistakes all the time. Like, we're human. We're living. Like, things make mistakes. But I think that it's important to take your mistakes as, like, learning experiences and things to grow from instead of how society and just people in general see mistakes as, like, and I myself am, like, guilty of doing this as well, like, seeing mistakes as, like, a warning of, like, failure, like, you can't do it, like, don't even try, like, this small mistake, or even if it's a big mistake, is just proof that you're, like, a horrible person, or you can't do this, or you can't do that, or blah, 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 whatever you want to tell yourself, like, it'll, like, just mistakes, like, can be seen, like, really negatively and seen, like, as a warning sign of, like, don't do this, like, this is showing you, like, the world is showing you, the universe is trying to tell you, like, don't do this, whatever you believe in, God, whatever, like, it's trying to tell you, don't do this because you made a mistake, blah, 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 but, like, in reality, like, you will make mistakes no matter how hard you try to be perfect, like, nobody's perfect, like, everybody makes mistakes, like, the thing about mistakes are they're mistakes, but they teach you what to do and what's right and what's wrong. And, like, they're just tools to learn from. They're not tools to tell you don't do something. They're tools to tell you try a different way. Like, you know, like, it's not failure. It's, like, try again or give up if you really want to. But I think, like, it's important to, like, really know your limits, because I think that it was really hard for me in the hospital because I'm such, like, a caring person, and after the 5 days, like, I was really, like, I think after 5 days, like, I was kind of, like, had the coping skills down and, like, was kind of ready to leave, but for some reason they wouldn't let me leave. So they basically just, like, kept me there for 9 days instead of 5 when I would have been ready to leave. But on the 6th day was when I started really getting antsy because a lot of the people that I really connected with and related to that were with me were there for, like, a while before I came, so they left before me. And then after they left, new kids came in, and they were, excuse my derogatory term, but they were druggies, you know, like, they were addicted to drugs. But that's not the problem. Like, I can deal with addiction. Like, my mom was addicted, like, and I myself was addicted to certain things. Like, I'm somewhat addicted to writing, self-harm, like, reading. Like, I mean, they're healthy addictions, but, like, they're, like, I'm familiar with addictions, and, like, I can cope with it as long as you're aware that, like, you need help with the addiction, you know. But, like, I refer to them as druggies because a druggie to me is somebody who is addicted and either in denial about being addicted or are aware they're addicted and don't give a fuck. So, and all of these new kids were druggies because they were in denial that they were addicted, and they were actually like proud that they dealt or took drugs. And like one of the like daily things that the staff would do at the hospital was like, how's your day, like rated 1 to 10, like depression, anxiety, hallucinations, like why did you come to the hospital, like blah blah blah, which like is kind of really hard to talk about, but that was the point. Like they were trying to make us face like our emotional struggles and problems and like why we're at the hospital and blah 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 blah. And anytime that he went to any of those new kids who were druggies, like all of them pretty much said almost the exact same thing, which was like, I got caught, or it wasn't my fault. Some kid tried to fight me for no reason, blah, 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 blah. Like, sure, I was kind of high, but it wasn't my fault, blah, blah, blah. And like, just diffusion of responsibility was like just so apparent. I was like, oh my God, these kids are so ridiculous. And then one of them was like, I got caught dealing drugs, and then and a bunch of others were like, I got caught taking drugs, but it wasn't, I was addicted, or like I shouldn't have been doing drugs, but I got caught. And like blah blah blah. It was, I got caught taking drugs, but like there's a strong insinuation that they were gonna go back to drugs the minute they were out of the hospital, and they were there unwillingly, and they didn't want to be at the hospital. And so I was kind of like, really, like, ugh, it's like I just couldn't deal with it. And then I was dealing with like two kind of really strong triggers for me at the hospital, because one of the people that I was close to as a friend, she came after me, so she actually stayed like about the same time that I did. And at first this was like great because we were getting along super great, and then after like my other close friends that were there before me left, or were discharged before me, like I was like really like dependent on that one friend, and I was like really like attached to her. But then like when the new druggy kids came in, she revealed a facet of her personality that I was none too happy to discover. And it was just like, I mean, it's not a rare thing to see, especially in young adolescents, but it was also like really disappointing, because I truly do believe that this friend of mine like has a really good personality, and like she's really intelligent, she's really mature, and she's really smart. And but there's one huge fault in her personality that I it really like was a strong like betrayal, because like I've had so many past friends, or like friends turned bullies throughout my whole childhood and even like high school, that like would be friends with me, and then they would change. I actually came up with a nickname for it. It's called character chameleonism. Character chameleons, character chameleonism, whatever. Um, and basically it means that they change based off of the people that they're around, or they're easily influenced by other people. And I myself can't really speak, because like I am heavily influenced by other people because I'm pretty empathetic. So like if I'm in a room with a lot of anxious people, I'm going to automatically feel more anxious. Like if I'm in a room with a lot of angry people, I'm going to feel more irritated. Like I just am very in tune with my emotions and very sensitive to other people's emotions. Like that's just how I am. Um and I used to hate it, but now like I really like respect and appreciate it. Um, but like it's also really frustrating at times, because especially when I'm like emotionally like in turmoil myself, and then like I'm put in a situation where like my empathetic abilities, if you will, or sensitivities, um, like go against me, because like I'm already in inner turmoil, and then there's a bunch of people who already like have intense emotions, because it feels the worst when someone is feeling an intense emotion, that it's like I'm getting like attacked. Like it literally feels like a physical assault, because like I can feel it, like, you know, like I'm affected by it. It's so weird, and it like sounds insane. Like I sound like one of those like weird spiritual people, but like I swear to God, like this is literally just like how I am. Like I'm not even fucking kidding with you. Like it's weird. I don't really like it all the time, but like sometimes it's really beneficial. but it's whatever. It's like, it's just creepy, but like it happens. It's just weird. I don't know how to explain it. I sound like one of those like weird, creepy, like hippie or like spiritual or like psychic wannabe people. Like, oh my god. I don't even believe in psychics or ghosts or the afterlife or whatever. But like, one could say I was an empath. I am an empath if like you really wanted to like go that far. But like, I personally just think that I'm a pretty sensitive person and really in tune with my emotions and sensitive to other people's emotions. So I would say I'm more empathetic than the average person, but I would not say that I'm an empath because I don't really believe in empaths. Like, you're not like just anyways, so I can't remember what my point was. Great. We're back at it again. I realize my short-term memory is like really bad, but like my long-term memory is like really good. Like, it's freakishly good. Um yeah. So I always had like thought I had a really bad memory because my short-term memory is so bad, but my long-term memory is like really, really good. And I remember details in my long-term memory like really, really well, like really vividly. It's kind of creepy. And then for some reason, like, I'm a audio learner, like, and good at remembering and learning like by audio. um so like I can literally like, I'm really good at taking notes in class when teachers present, because like I literally don't even look up from my paper. I just like listen to what they say and then write down what they say. Like, I don't even have to look up at their like poster or anything. Like, I mean, not poster, like presentation thing, slides. And like, I rarely look up, and like, usually sometimes like I'll look up and glance to see if like the slides changed so that I can like understand like what the title of the next section is. But typically I just listen to what the teacher says and just write what they say. Um, because typically, depending on the teacher, sometimes they go by the book, but a lot of times teachers go off of their own personal knowledge or their own personal like judgments of what should and shouldn't be graded for like tests or whatever. So if you do notes by what the teacher says, more often than not, you're going to do better on tests and homework and yada yada yada. Of course, this isn't always true because some teachers are really, really, really rigid and by the book, and then some teachers are just like are unpredictable and they switch it up to fuck with you, which is fucked up. Thanks, teachers. And then there are some. I can't remember what I was gonna say. Whoops. Okay. Anyways, but back to main topic that I was talking about. Like, I've been planning a lot and like situating like my outside life a lot, and been more assertive with my dad and like been like, hey, like, this is what I want, this is what I need, like if you can't support me, then like we can't continue growing a relationship. But so far, like, he's been like really supportive and like trying really hard. So like, I'm optimistic about our future together, but like, I'm not entirely sure. And then tomorrow I'm gonna have a deep conversation with my uncle because I feel bad because like my uncle is like kind of really like lonely and depressed because like he's in California and he hates California, and like none of his friends are here, and he still doesn't have a job, and I don't know. So I feel really bad for him. Plus, like, he feels probably really unappreciated because I was in the mental hospital for like 2 weeks, and um, my dad doesn't really know how to emotionally support anyone because his emotions are so suppressed. And then my grandma is like in denial that she even has problems. So she can't express gratitude for what my uncle's been doing for us either. So like, he's feeling like understandably like very like depressed and like down and like lonely and like unappreciated and like maybe even like neglected, you know? Um because he has been doing a lot for us, but he's like virtually getting no gratitude because I've been working through a lot of stuff. So like it's really hard for me to be like, hey, like appreciate you, love you, uncle, like every fucking day. And then um like my dad just doesn't know how to even accept that our family even had a problem or has problems and needed help that my dad couldn't give, and my uncle was here to give us that. And then my grandma is just too far gone to even recollect anything. So yeah, so I'm gonna have like a deep conversation with him about that, how much I appreciate him and how much I'm sorry if he's feeling really lonely and blah blah blah. But like I'm really like appreciative, and like he's literally probably saved my life and my grandma's life countless times, because I know that there's no way that I could have ever gone through the death of my mom and grandma's dementia all on my own. Um, like there's just no way. So he like legitimately like saved my life, you know. And then my grandma too, because I can't always babysit her, and we probably would have fought, and who knows what would have happened if we actually like fought. Like I don't mean physically fight, but like verbally fight. And she might have just like gotten mad and like walked out or something. And like what if she walked out and like imagine she was going to some place or whatever, and then she got hit by a car, like, or what if like she fell down and like I wasn't there to help and she couldn't call 911, and then she like broke her hip or something, or like what if she like accidentally cut something and like couldn't call 911 and just like bled out. Like there are so many mistakes that could have happened to my grandma if my dad uncle wasn't here to help, and my dad was still in denial, and I didn't have anybody to help ground and support me through all of my mental turmoil and depression and grieving and yada yada yada. So like I truly am really grateful for him, and like he needs to know that. So I'm gonna tell him tomorrow because it's way too late tonight. But yeah, and then also to help with a lot of stuff. Like I've been planning something that I've been planning for like literally like since I got here. Because like when I came to live with my grandma, like the minute I saw my old room, I was like, oh my god, I freaking hate it. Like I wanted to change it, and I tried everything I could to change it without like really changing it. So like I cleaned it, and like I moved around furniture, and like I rearranged stuff, and I got rid of a lot of like extra stuff, but I didn't get rid of like the basic like props of the room, because like I knew that grandma would lose her shit. But I really dislike the setup of my room. Like I just have always hated it. Like I've always hated that there are pictures of me up on the fucking like bookcase. I've always hated how huge the bookcase is. I feel like it like shrinks my room in half. I've always hated that dresser over there because I feel like it's just like a waste of space, and there's a corner there that could be so much more useful than having a stupid ass dresser in there. And then I feel like the closet that I have here is so wasted, because like I literally use like maybe a quarter of it for my clothes, and then the rest of it is just like my grandma's old clothes. So like I've always felt like a temporary guest, and like this room was never really my own, and like I just never really liked it, you know. And I've tried to like make it as much of my own as I possibly can while not changing the vital aspects of it, because if I did, my grandma would lose her shit. So but I've kind of just come to accept that like literally my grandma's so far into her dementia at this point that like if I move around shit, like in a few months she's not gonna remember. So why not? Like it's my room, like it's my life. Like do I want to continuously hold back and be unhappy with how my personal space is, or and just general life is, or do I want to push the limits for my own happiness? Like fuck yes, I'm gonna push the limits for my own happiness, excuse me. So yeah, I've been like planning out like how I want to change my room, and I'm not going to talk about it because like I want it to be a surprise when I reveal it, because like I do every single video in my room, so like I just wanted to like kind of surprise you guys and be like, hello, I like redecorated my room. So like it's not gonna be for a long time. Like don't get your hopes up. Like the next video is gonna be like all brand new and like super cool, because it's not. What I am planning for my room is gonna take a long time and probably a lot of money, but actually not that money. If like that much money, if like I am strategic and space it out and do one thing at a time and go to clearance places and I don't know why I do the finger gun stuff all the time. It's weird. Anyways, so I'm like really, 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 really excited for that. And then another thing that I'm really excited for and planned out was popcorn. I love popcorn, like, and I don't want to give her up, but like it's becoming apparent that like I cannot provide for her, because she's getting bigger, and like she needs like a full ass pond, and I knew that, but I expected my dad, because when I got popcorn, I was still like in the whole deluded like my dad's a hero, like he's gonna do like everything and everything, anything and everything because he loves me and blah blah blah. But the truth is, that's just not how it is, And he's, at the end of the day, he's a very selfish person. Well, not really selfish. He's just very like apathetic, and he doesn't really get what it means to like understand other people, let alone like an animal. Like there's no way. So like repeatedly he's just been telling me over and over like there's no fucking way that I'm ever gonna like take care of your turtle. Like there's no way that I'm gonna disrupt my perfect little backyard, which his backyard isn't even perfect. It's just perfect for him because it's messy and he's used to it being that way, so he doesn't want to disturb it, whatever. So he doesn't want to move popcorn into the backyard, and popcorn's getting bigger and bigger, and she's gonna need a pond eventually, and I can't provide that for her apparently. And also it's not safe for her here either because my grandma's dementia is so bad that she's like trying to feed my turtle every day, which is not healthy for them because they usually eat like 2 to 3 times a week because their metabolism is so slow. And like there's just a bunch of factors that like contribute to me being like popcorn cannot stay here, So, but I don't want to like completely give her up. Like I still want to like be connected to her, because I really do love popcorn. Like she's my baby, like she's my turtle. Like she's not going to be the first turtle that I own, because later on, like when I can afford it, I'm going to get a box turtle. And like box turtles stay really tiny and they're like terrarium based, so they're like land, and they're like land turtles, and they stay really small and they stay really cute, and I could easily provide for it. And yeah, so I'm planning to get a box turtle and dogs and cats and other animals once like I have like a career set, and after like college and Coast Guard, and so it's gonna be like many many years in the future, but like I'm gonna get a turtle again. I'm just saying that like for right now I don't want to like let go of popcorn completely. So I have a couple friends that like I know, like I'm really close to, like they're my homeschool friends, and they both really love animals, and they both have like pretty expansive backyards, and I know that they could afford and provide for popcorn. And also this way, anytime I visit him, I can be like, hey, can I check on popcorn? And like, yeah. Plus, popcorn is kind of a stupid name. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's a stupid name, but that's just because I'm a stupid, weird-ass person. So, obviously, I'm gonna name my pet a weird, stupid name. And I know that chances are if I gave this to somebody else who's like a complete stranger, or just gave popcorn to a rescue team, like they would rename popcorn, because like who wants to have a pet named popcorn? Like no one, except for me and my best friends, because they respect me and they would obviously keep it popcorn, but like still. But I was thinking, my grandma really, like one thing I've learned about my grandma, she's very like mother henish now that she's older. Like she's literally like constantly like on my side or on my uncle's side or on whoever is nearest to her and alive on side, being like, hey, like do you need help, like love you, like blah blah blah. And it's kind of sad though, because like my uncle actually phrased it perfectly. Like she's like a mother, she's like a baby chick pretending to be mother hen, so like she doesn't have like the mental capacity or maturity anymore to be a mother hen. Not to mention, like, she's Japanese, so they're not really used to like expressing their emotions or expressing care. And now that she has dementia, she like feels all like clingy and like touchy feely with people, but like she's not used to that because that's not her culture, so she doesn't really know how to express that. Not to mention, like, her mental capacity and memory is like so bad that like she has good intentions, but it's kind of like a baby Jake pretending to be a mother hen. So like it's sweet, but it's also really awkward because you're like, thanks, but I don't really need it, but love you. Um, but I do think that it is good for her to have like something to care for her. So I think that I'm gonna get fish. I'm actually already setting up the aquarium right now. I have it right here. Hold on. No, obviously it's not complete. And like I don't have everything set up yet, but I'm like creating like a tiny little aquarium, which for the time being will kind of be like a feeder fish tank for popcorn until I can talk with my friends and like give popcorn away to them. But for now, it's like a feeder tank, but then it's dual purpose because once popcorn's gone, I can like replace popcorn with the fish tank, and then my grandma will like maybe in 2 or 3 months, maybe even weeks, like forget all about popcorn and probably imagine uh or resituate the fish in popcorn's place and probably like, think that we've had the fish for years or something, and she can baby the fish, and I can like put like little locks on the lid so that she can't like open it up and feed them constantly, but like she can look at them and she can be like, oh my god, such pretty fish, and like love these fish and blah 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 blah, but like she can't like harm them, and like there's still something for her to like baby, you know what I mean? So yeah, but I'm not done with it, so like I'm not gonna show you yet, but like I will show you when I'm finished with it, and so like yeah, it's gonna be cool. But yeah, for now it's in my room, but thankfully I got a tank where it has, and it's a really small tank, so it's gonna fit in my room. But like I got a tank with like an immersible filter, so like unlike last time where the filter was hella loud and I had to move popcorn's tank, this filter is gonna be like blissfully quiet. So like thank God, because like I cannot deal with that shit again. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, that's my update of what's been going on or whatever. So yeah, okay, goodbye.